Hi, my name is Leighia Fleming. I'm the Director of Student Equity and Title IX at Coastline College, as well as the co-coordinator for the Umoja Program. Today, I'm just going to chat with you and tell you about what Black history means to me, why I'm proud to be a Black woman, and just some of the goals and progress that the Coast District has assisted me with in moving forward in my life. To me, Black History Month is more than just a month. It is something that I live out every single day of my life, 365 days a year. However, I think Black History Month is important to highlight the achievements of our ancestors, to highlight the current entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs. I think it's important that we use this month as a nation, as Americans, as folks to truly understand the history and the influence Black folks have had on today society. And so that's why I say, like, Black History Month, yes, it's a month to celebrate and honor and acknowledge, but it's also something that us as Black folks, we maneuver through this every single day. It's something every day that in which I am celebrating what it is to be Black. I am celebrating my family. I am celebrating generations to come, and I am honoring those who have stood before me to make way for me to be where I'm at today. And so those are some of the greats, that I'll probably mention a little bit later, from Rosa Parks to Sojourner Truth to MLK, to one of my mentors, Bell Hooks, who is really just a great activist. And so when we talk about Black History Month, when we talk about amplifying the voices of Black folks, it's something that we do not just do in February for 28 days. It is something that we honor and that we celebrate every single day of the year. About Black History Month, while it's celebrated once a month, 28 days, the shortest month of the year, that we should know and understand that Black history is a part of American history. And it did not just start with slavery, right? Our culture is rich. For those who want to celebrate and who do celebrate Black History Month, I want them to know this is a time to dive into history. It's a time to read books. It's a time to learn about our ancestors. It's a time to acknowledge the past. It's a time to acknowledge those who are currently living and doing great work within the Black community. So if you're going to spend your dollars, spend Black dollars, go to Black-owned businesses, celebrate Black authors. Really use this time and this month to shed light on some of the greatness that Black African Americans have brought into our culture and into our society today. Role model for me today, and it's really unfortunate because she just passed, is Bell Hooks, who is an author and activist. And I'm currently in school, working on my doctorate, but she has been a role model in really exemplifying the idea of love. And in all that we do, and in order to shatter a lot of the misconceptions, that we have to do it in love, and really highlighting for those of us who work in education, which is what I do, which is what we do here in the Coast District, is that we have to acknowledge the past. We have to acknowledge all of the things to become our whole self. And if we move within love, if we move forward in those pieces, we should be able to constantly do the right thing and work in spaces where, yes, we know that there are going to be disagreements, folks have different personalities, there are all of these things. But if we're moving in love, we should really be able to make some changes, some change efforts. And all in all, she is just an activist. And so when things don't align, she pushes that status quo and moves forward and tries to do change. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here in the Coast District and within Coastline. And especially for our Black students, is to make sure that they are seen and heard in this district, because we're here. I think there's things that have happened on like a personal level, whether it's family, but like family business that we've had that have been able to truly make way for, I think, generations within my family, creating that generational wealth. I guess I'm really big on reading and authors. So I think one of someone who I admire, but also very proud of is just like authors. So Maya Angelou is someone who I constantly read, and just the poetry. And I think that those who do literature works are able to move into the lives of many folks. I also am proud of the work that, John Lewis did, and, the quote that we hear so often, causing good trouble. And I think he has continuously done that and been able to make way within history for Black folks to be in politics, to be in spaces, to be in education, and to be activists, and knowing that it's okay to not agree. It's okay to create your own seat at the table, like Shirley Chisholm, sorry, excuse me. So I think there's a few folks, but I think most of the folks who I admire are in, the education politics, and to others would see folks who are stirring up trouble and disruptors. But what I see is folks who have been causing good trouble and have made it an opportunity for me to sit at the space that I'm at today. Being Black to me is, honestly, it's just beautiful. And to somebody looking in, you'd be like, why would you say that? I experienced racism, microaggressions. But being Black is also about being resilient. Being Black for me is also about my culture. It's rich within history. It's joyous. It's something for me, like, it cannot be taken away, no matter what, no matter how people try to demoralize it. It's something that I think, while folks may see negativity in it, it's strong. And so for me, it's one of the most beautiful things is being Black. What brings me joy is my family, particularly my parents, who are two of the strongest Black folks I have had the pleasure of meeting. My father is a recently retired LAPD officer. He worked the night of the Rodney King riots, and he's worked within a system that has lots of structured and systemic racism, and truly has tried to work within to change that system, but did what he needed to do to support his family. And my mother is an educator who worked in Pomona Unified School District for many years, and to just continuously, no matter what happened, put their children first, put me first, my sister as well. And so they bring me joy. And to be able to be where I am now as a, I guess, millennial, as folks would say, working on a doctoral degree, working at a college as a director, really working to emphasize and do change. I know that all of that is because of them. And so their hard work, what they've created for generations to come, gives me joy. Two of my goals. So one of my main goals, since I came to the Coast District 3 years ago, and upon coming to the Coast District, one of my goals, I think I talked about my parents, but as a child, my dad would always say, education is the most important thing. Actually, my mom would say that. My dad would really say seeds get degrees and you just kind of move on through. But my dad knew the importance of education, and he did what needed to be done to make sure that I had all that I needed to do to be where I'm at today. And so he always said, like, I know you're going to be Dr. Fleming. And so right now, one of the biggest goals that I'm working on is receiving my doctorate. So I'm currently at Cal State Fullerton, working to get my doctorate, my EDD in educational leadership with the emphasis on community colleges. As a Black woman, I think that it's a journey, right? It's a journey to be in education. It's a journey to be in the system. And Coast District has allowed and has been very graceful in providing the opportunity for me to do this and work full time. I've had great mentors, supervisors across the district who are constantly my biggest cheerleaders to push through and get through this degree. And so for me, working at Coastline and Coast District, being one of 2 Black folks in my class at Fullerton, I know that this is something but when I'm going to look back in, 3 to 4 years, I'm going to be so grateful for that I'm able to do this, not just for me, because this is not just for something that I'm doing it for every Black girl, every Black child, every Black boy, um, who is thinking like, I can't do something, you can. And I think that that is the power of education. I think that's the power of Black History Month, is the time that we celebrate. We celebrate our greatness. We celebrate the achievements. Um, we celebrate even the losses that we take and those things that make us stronger. So that's one of the goals that through Coast District I have been able to achieve. And I think the other thing is just really, really working to shed light on our Black students here within Coast District, to shed light on our Black faculty and staff through our Umoja program, through starting a Black affinity group. I think it's really important that folks know that we are here and we're doing some great work, and that we should be celebrated. Our students should be celebrated. And yeah, those are some of the goals that I think Coast District has allowed and been a part of. I don't want to say allowed, has been a part of me continuing to pursue.